going to be your general mini cross reading for March 2021. I'm all out of sync, and so this is kind of coming kind of jerky, these readings. Hopefully, I'll get a chance to finish them all over the next maybe 24 hours. We shall see. As always, I ask you to view your moon and or rising sign, because sometimes the story of your sun sign may not resonate, but your moon and rising will. And also to check the signs, sun, moon, and rising of those that you are involved with, friends, family, relationships, whatnot. So I have already done some shuffling and meditation on your sign and glyph. I am using the Radiant White deck. I have, of course, the La Vida Sibila that I will clarify with, and then we will wrap the reading up with an angel answer card. And I think that this is going to be the last time I use the angel answers. I just find them to be such weak oracle cards, not only in terms of the card stock that they're on, but they're just kind of weak. And I haven't found anything that I can replace them with yet, so we shall see. Anyway, let me turn the camera around so we can get started. I know the lighting's all crazy, but you know what? I have some video lighting. I forgot. I bought it like years ago. So eventually I'm going to get it all set up. Anyway, let's turn the camera around. And go ahead and put a shuffle on. Oh, well, cards just leaping out. The Magician. And the Three of Cups. I don't know, is somebody planning a party or an event, some kind of celebration? You've been working hard, focusing on it. Graduation, wedding, baby shower, don't know. Let's see what the rest of the cards have to say. The Knight of Wands. Oh my goodness. Oh, the Eight of Cups. Well, that's about jank. Okay. The World card. Okay, some of you were planning something, but some news came in that was rather disappointing, or we shall see. The Two of Swords. Well, that's interesting. The Seven of Wands. Looks like your plans may have went to, I don't know, to pot here. The Ten of Pentacles. Last card down. Oh, wow. And the Justice card. Well. This feels like some kind of legal issue. Whatever this thing was, this celebration, I feel that whatever the news is, represented by this Knight of Wands, it was short-lived. Under the deck, yep, the Judgment card. This is a legal issue. Something to do with the family as well. And it appears to me as though you or someone who is involved in this with you, I do only have this one court card, assumed that this situation was over. But now you're kind of left in a place where you're not exactly sure what's happening or what's going on. Now, for me, Knights always represent events, but these events are preceded by some kind of news or message. Something that came in quite rapidly from the future into the past. So this tells me that whatever it was you were waiting on, this news came to kind of squelch that whole idea. I also feel that some of you, past, present, future, interplay of the cards, that some of you, whatever this idea was, this thing that you were working on, this is the Magician. And the Magician says you can create anything and everything. And you do that by marrying your will and your intention. In other words, whatever your intentions are, you're going to have to follow through with that plan or that idea in order to make it manifest. For some of you, you did, but then the news came in to be like, hey, what happened? The rest of you, it appears as though you kind of maybe gave up, but then you decided to jump back into the fight. You thought you could walk away from it, but you're back in it. There are finances involved here, most definitely. This could be some kind of inheritance or some kind of sudden windfall or unexpected finances. And this is most definitely a legal issue. I think what is most intriguing about this is this diagonal of the Magician, the World, and Justice. Three major arcana. So whatever this thing is, it's big. For those of you who don't understand my style of reading, the major arcana cards hold more weight than what is known as the pip cards. Okay, here with the idea of judgment. For those of you who are waiting on the news, this tells me that the news will be coming, but the news is going to bring a drastic change to this type of situation. There are some spiritual lessons here to be learned, whatever those may be. But it definitely is going to be a decision, a very important decision here involved in this. The twos are always a decision, a choice, an option, an opposition. Should I or shouldn't I, or someone being opposed against you. But it speaks to a crossroads. And some of you either, this is telling me that you haven't seen the message or heard the message yet. For others of you, it is saying you got it, but you're not sure exactly if what you're hearing or seeing is true. But this is most definitely a what do you call it? Legal issue. So what I want to do to see if I can give you a bit more information, it is this Two of Swords. So I'm going to take a look to see if the Two of Swords can tell me anything as it relates to these three major arcana cards here. Okay. And then we're going to pull cards on that. I'm actually going to pull cards on that Knight, because I think he is the key. Nothing about the Two of Swords. It says, except the meaning of the card can be, if you have been involved in a dispute with a friend or an acquaintance, the presence of the Two Swords indicates that an amicable solution will be found, with both parties being satisfied and positive about the dispute being resolved. Now, here's the funny thing. It ends with Justice. And Justice says that based upon all the facts and circumstances and the situation as it is a fair and just outcome. Doesn't mean you're going to like the outcome or that the outcome is going to be exactly as you wish it to be. It just says that it's a just and fair outcome. And so I feel that whatever the lesson is basically going to be about the idea of accepting the outcome no matter what it is. Because if you can accept it, even though there may be some disappointment about it, then you can move on to the next phase. Marry your will with your intention. Okay? To move this on. This is a graduation, the end of a cycle. Okay? And this is also about karma. All right? So whatever karmic debt or karmic repayment that is associated with this, if you accept it, no matter how short end of the stick it may seem to you, you can then move on to something else. Okay? So this is, I think, about letting go. So what I want to do is look at this Knight of Wands here. Now, I know this can be a hard lesson sometimes, but, you know, pick your battles. You look as though you have been battling, but maybe the time now has come to kind of, I don't know, accept whatever it is that's being offered to you so that everybody else can move on. Yes? All right. So I'm going to look at this Knight of Wands. The Il Nemico. The Militare. Well. And the Vedovo. So definitely we're looking at a male. This is the enemy. The Il Nemico is someone who, unlike the La Nemica is an enemy, an unseen enemy. definitely of a female nature, but you don't really know who she is. She's pretending to be a friend. The Il Nemico says you know this individual, okay? And every time you're around this person, you get a bad feeling about him. Trust that. He may be in the military or with law enforcement, but this card can sometimes be the idea of someone who doesn't give up very easily, but can also be someone who's quite difficult to deal with, can be, I don't know, violent and confrontational. And here with the Vedivo says that this is somebody that no matter what the situation or what the outcome, they're not going to be satisfied. They don't have a lot of room in their heart for any kind of love or empathy or compassion. Okay? Basically, the dressing and the outside of the person is quite different from what's happening on the inside of the person. And as a situation, ending with the situation, the Vedivo, these are all swords cards, okay? So let me take a look at this for you. As a situation, it represents a hostile environment. In love, it represents someone who has trust issues and who is always afraid of someone cheating on them. It says that it indicates struggle and opposition, ruthlessness, war, and conflict. It also means someone who will give you a lot of grief and oppose your efforts to succeed. Okay? Here with the Vedivo, one second here. The Vedivo is an interesting character. Basically, the card says that it indicates difficulty in interacting with people. It represents a void or loss of some kind. It can, in love, heralds a separation, arguments, incompatibility, and a relationship devoid of true love. In financial matters, it indicates financial collapse or the unsuccessful ending of a project that meant a lot to you. It entails making life-changing decisions. Okay? In financial matters, it represents financial loss, dismissal, lack of money, and or an unwanted business trip or relocation. That is the Vedivo. Now let me read to you the Il Nemico. He is a knight of swords and two knights in the tarot says that there's some difficulty with understanding, with trusting what someone is telling you. It also says that this card represents a known enemy, someone you already do not like or suspect is plotting against you. If so, this card confirms your suspicions. This person has an open dislike for you and whose ambitions, desires, and ego clashes with yours. But you need to be careful because the person can seem very nice, but somehow does not inspire trust and gives you a bad feeling. It warns that you should trust your gut feeling about the person or situation and keep them at arm's length. In love, it indicates a rival, someone who openly does not want a couple to be together, or a mean-spirited lover, or a vindictive ex-husband. Financially, it indicates snares and tricks and the danger of signing documents we do not fully understand. It could also represent a businessman who should not be trusted. Professionally, this person is someone who will always work against you. Okay? So you really need to watch out because I think this will be ending in a legal issue. And you're going to have to determine whether or not, I don't know. You're going to deal with this person. I do feel, my guides are telling me that if this is like you got to go to court, when you get there, the person is going to completely change their story, or it's going to be some kind of additional thing added to what's already happening. So formulate one question for the angel answer card, and we shall read it and see. Here we go. It says forgiveness. Wow, that's quite interesting. So remember I was talking about that thing about letting go? Forgiveness can work miracles. When you release the past, a weight is lifted from your shoulders and a sense of freedom washes over you. Ask your angels to help you let go of sadness or pain caused by others so that you can be free. But this card can also refer to a need for self-forgiveness. It is time to let go of any guilt you are holding on to regarding past mistakes you may have made. Give yourself credit for having tried your best, even if the results were not what you would have liked. Focus on the changes that you've made since then that have made you a better person. So bottom line is, whatever this thing is, you need to accept it and let it go. Okay? I mean, you're free to do whatever you want to do, but personally, I wouldn't spend more time on it than what's absolutely necessary. So I hope those messages helped you, Taurus. And until next time, stay safe and namaste.